Which country is the most responsible for climate change? Sounds like a simple question. It isn't. Because before you answer, you need to ask 3 questions that almost nobody asks. Do we count emissions per country, per person, or historically between overall time? And if the UK buys a product made in China, whose emissions are those? The answer changes everything. Let's start with what everyone thinks they know. China, 29% of global emissions. United States, 14%. European Union, 8%. India, 7%. Russia, 5%. Simple enough, but now look closer. India is responsible for 7% of emissions, but is home to 18% of the world's population. The United States contributes 14% of emissions, but is home to just 4% of people. And the entire continent of Africa, home to 17% of humanity, responsible for just 4% of emissions. The pattern is clear. The less access you have to energy, industry and transport, the lower your emissions. As countries develop and living standards rise, emissions follow. But that is not the full story. Here is where the data gets truly interesting. Being wealthy does not automatically mean high emissions. Sweden has living standards as high as the United States, if not higher. Yet the average Swede emits just 1/4 of what an American emits, and half of what the average German emits. Same prosperity, same quality of life, dramatically different impact on the planet. How? The answer lies in choices, not wealth. Sweden and France invested in nuclear power and hydropower decades ago. Their electricity grids produce very little carbon. Their cities were built with public transport in mind. The result? High living standards with a fraction of the emissions. And it works in the other direction too. Some middle-income countries, like China and South Africa, have now overtaken many richer European nations in per capita emissions. Not because rich countries exported their dirty industries, but because different countries made different choices about energy, infrastructure and urban planning. So how do we measure responsibility fairly? By total emissions, the largest economies dominate the list. By per capita emissions, the picture changes dramatically. A citizen of Qatar emits more than anyone on the planet. A citizen of Chad emits almost nothing. By historical emissions, the countries that industrialised first have accumulated far more carbon in the atmosphere over time. By consumption, if you buy it, you own the carbon cost of making it. No single metric tells the whole story. But together they reveal something powerful. High living standards and low emissions are not opposites. Sweden and France have already proven it. Living well does not need to come at a high cost for the climate. The data doesn't point fingers. It shows possibilities. Countries that have chosen clean energy grids, efficient cities, and smart infrastructure have proven that prosperity and climate responsibility can go hand in hand. The question is not whether it's possible. The data already answers that. The path exists. The choices are clear. The only question left is, will we take them?